Chris, thanks. The Haslam administration now has second thoughts about destroying a historic building on the grounds of the state capitol.
Today, it formally recommended that the Cordell Hull be saved. News Channel 5 chief investigative reporter Phil Williams raised questions about the decision to demolish it more than a year ago.
The thing is, lawmakers had already approved funding to destroy the Cordell Hull, but while the State Building Commission did not formally approve the recommendation today that the building be renovated instead of destroyed, they've made it clear it's one they're likely to follow.
All the plumbing system is at failure state.
Appearing before the State Building Commission,
There are mold and air quality environmental hazards in the building right now that we expect to only get worse.
General Services Commissioner Bob Oglesby was blunt in his assessment.
There is asbestos and lead paint in the building that requires special handling to be removed and abated.
I was a little worried.
For historic preservationists who have pushed to save the 1950s era state office building with its marbled hallways and other unique touches, the news seemed grim.
And sometimes we're a little worried because it is very expensive. The deferred maintenance on the building is significant.
So these are Department of General Services cost projections.
But the commissioner said after getting a second opinion, the department now believes it would be cheaper to continue moving state employees out into leased space, renovating the Cordell Hull, and then using it to house state employees so other Capitol Hill buildings can also be renovated.
We believe that the Cordell Hull office building provides us with an opportunity to save the state money by entering into a long-term lease for 10 years, and during that time allow us to move people out of other buildings into that building after it's been renovated as part of that checkerboard process.
That plan calls for demolition of the attached Central Services building, replacing it with what House Speaker Beth Harwell says is a much-needed parking garage.
And hopefully this will encourage the public to come downtown more and get them involved in what's going on in the Capitol, but also preserve a historic building with some beautiful aspects to it.
As to how the Haslam administration came so close to demolishing a historic structure on the grounds of the state capitol, the commissioner said the state's consultant Jones Lang LaSalle based that recommendation on the same type of analysis it would have given to a suburban office building.
They made no exception for the Cordell Hull being on Capitol Hill.
But should they have not taken that into consideration?
That was not what they were asked to do by the state.
Now, the Building Commission asked the Haslam administration to begin pulling together all the paperwork that will be needed to formalize the decision. Still, the speaker says she has no doubts that the Cordell Hull will now be saved from demolition.
Now, the commissioner mentioned a 10-year lease. How long is this going to take?
Well, he said the renovation of the Cordell Hull itself could take a couple of years. Then the state would begin that process of moving state employees in and renovating other buildings after that.
All right. Thanks, Phil.